Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's IPvPMyKidsIRL and from the Brothers Gaming Network. And so we're about to hop into Lord of the Rings Rise to War, the mobile game. And I cannot stress this enough. I've been waiting on this game for so long. I'm beyond excited, whether or not you can tell it in my voice or not. This game is spot on for what I was looking for to quench my thirst of the game that they had made prior, Immortal Conquest, which is a very similar game as well, which I can kind of go into a little bit later. But so far, my impressions of the game have been overall pretty good. There's maybe a handful of things that I've got just nitpicking problems. But overall, though, this game is a major upgrade from Immortal Conquest if you are a player coming from that game as well and you're looking for something that's a lot more fresh, whole lot more balanced. I think that this game offers so much. I think this game offers so much convenience. You know, it's nice. You know, you can swap out your troops. You know, you can swap commanders easily, things like that. So far, I mean, I'm just using the base commander that you get at the start of the game, kind of maxed them out. I've got 5 extra points, you know, kind of in them skill wise. In his portrait, you know, I'm killing it with just the base commander. I think I'm level, let me check real quick. So I'm level 14 on the server, and the game came out Thursday, which is about 3 or 4 days ago, something like that. I don't know, but overall, though, my impressions of the game have been pretty good, in my opinion. I've been waiting for this game for such a long time, so let me get into a little bit of the reasons why I think this game has a lot ahead of itself. Number one, the amount of factions that you can pick from, awesome. I think that's so cool that they actually implemented a way for you to pick a faction that you like. One thing to be wary of is that I do not think characters will transfer from one server to another, so do not expect for your accounts to be merged together. So if you're on server 35 and you want to merge together your guy on 36, I do not think that would be the case. So I would not expect that. It would probably be 2 separate accounts that you'd be able to log into on the same server whenever they merge. So keep that in mind, please, because that was the same way it worked in the other game, and I would expect it to be in this game as well. So kind of onto the mechanics of the game and kind of why probably people are probably like, what's so good about this game, PvP? The battle system. I will say that much. The battle system is so addicting. I think that turn-based combat, you know, automated turn-based combat is just so satisfying whenever you just go in, you just send your troops there. You set them up to do well. Like, you set up their skills, you set up your troops, and then you go and attack something. And then it just processes out the combat, and you can go back and watch it in real time, or you can just look at the battle report like how I do, and you get to see where things either went wrong or went well. So I think that's something that is so killer, and just people just don't really think is probably something that you need to pay attention to if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of this game, because I love looking at the battle reports to, you know, check and see whenever heals were going off. Was his heal getting nerfed? Was his ability proccing that round? You know, how much damage did it do? You know, how much of the troops did it take out? You know, what does the damage modifier mean? Kind of how much damage does that equate to? You know, kind of like, oh, what's 300% even mean? Well, you can go into the battle report, kind of see what it means by that. And I just think that that just elevates the complexity of the game while keeping it simple. You keep it simple because all you gotta do is just set them up for success. You just set them up, and the game just does it out for you. So it's such a satisfying battle system. I cannot stress that enough. I love to see it. You know, the time to play this game, you know, it's kind of a good deal. You know, I'll say I just, you know, keep the game open, send my troops out, and I play it like that. But you don't have to. You can pretty much just conscript your units, hop back on whenever they're done, send your troops out, bring them back, or keep going, you know, and then, you know, reconscript, you know, pull it back out. Probably once every 2 hours, you can pull this game open, send troops out, and you can still be competitive without a doubt. So for me, I pretty much just keep the game open, send my troops out whenever. I'm not gonna lie, I love the start of seasons like this. You know, Tarkov, you know, the start of the season. You know, Immortal Conquest was the same way. You know, any game where you can get like a competitive edge at the start, I love it. I am so addicted to getting like a competitive start, not via money, but by playing the game and getting ahead, the leaderboards, and just is satisfying. Like, it really is. And then you keep playing against the best players because you know they're going to be on the other faction, or you know they're going to be somewhere else and you're going to be battling them. You know, it's a battle to be ahead of the next guy. Like, you're like, I'm going to get more power than him. I'm going to get more ring power. It's so addicting. I cannot stress that enough. I love games like this where you get to really shine with skill play and managing your troops and overall using your points efficiently. You know, I've got literally the base commander in the game. Okay, I only have Faramir right now. I don't know who it is from Mordor. I haven't played the dark side yet. So I'll keep that in mind if I play on the dark side on another go around. But for Faramir, I mean, I'm just crushing it right now with level 30 Faramir, just taking level 28 lands, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll have level 35. We'll see. But overall, I think it's really good that you're able to just take the base guy and just run a train with him. Just immediately off the bat, you can just take him and run it down. I do think that if you are interested long term, I would just maybe spend a little bit of money and buy Aragon for like $2. I'm not going to sit here and condone spending money on a free-to-play game. You know, do as you wish, you know, with your money. But I seriously think you should probably just buy Aragon and call it a day for $2. And just, you could probably just run it around with him. You know, some of the things that you got to keep in mind in this game, kind of on the map itself, is you can jump off of other people's tiles in your faction. Your faction as a whole works together against the other faction. So keep that in mind if you're jumping off people's tiles. You know, you might be pissing off the same people that are going to be taking Dol Guldur. I don't know how to say it, I'm going to be honest, even though I've been watching Lord of the Rings since my whole life. But you might want to be careful of who you piss off, because they're the same ones that you're going to be battling with against the other factions. So, you know, keep that in mind. I can't stress that enough. It is important that you get as strong as you can early on, because taking resources and fighting in a war is tough later on into the game. Without a doubt, you're going to be strained in resources. You're going to be strained, you know, stamina wise, you know, sending troops out, having to recall them, you know, tile got taken, things like that. You got to keep in mind, you know, whenever you're on these wars, and that's where this game shines. It is, you know, the PvE is so much fun at the start. You get your time to really go around and start taking your tiles, and you build up your army, and then you get to later on. Now you get to start battling all the other factions, and I kid you not, that is where the game shines, and that's where the players are probably either going to quit beforehand, before that happens, or they're not going to have probably strong enough troops to get the satisfaction that they're probably looking for out of the game. So this game is a grind, but it's such a satisfying grind that whenever you finally get to the end and you're finally able to start up the wars and you start to really see some great combat, man, that's whenever you're like, this is the game for me. You know, because other games, you know, they don't offer that. You know, they're just like, here, get a gold, you know, run it down, you know, pay for some resources. In this game, you're not paying for resources. Sure, you can maybe buy boost for maybe 30 minutes and things like that. I wouldn't bother with them. I think that they're just, I wouldn't bother with them. They're only for like 30 minutes at a time. And then, well, 30-minute ones are actually, you can get from just playing the game. But, you know, the 8-hour ones, I really wouldn't bother with them too much. Only at the start of the season, that would just be just a little too much. But you get plenty of free-to-play gems. You get plenty of tokens. I've been seeing at the start of the season, you know, they have a free season pass, and they've got a paid-for version. You know, I can break down things like that later on if you're interested in spending money, kind of things like that. I have bought a handful of things, you know, kind of just to see what it's like, to be honest, because I wanted to kind of see what all's worth in kind of this game and kind of get a good feel for what all's available to purchase, things like that. So I've spent a little bit of money on the game. I'm not one of the whales though, you know, I'm not one of the whales by any means. But overall though, I think this game is really it's not completely pay to win. I don't want people to think that. I really don't. I think this game's got so much potential. I think that the reason why the previous game died, Immortal Conquest, for instance, I think the reason why that game slowed down was because they lessened the the rewards for the free-to-play players, I think that was probably at the end what killed it. Was the only people that were left were either the hardcore players like myself that spent, I think, $6 a month on the monthly pass to get pretty much 5 pulls and everything like that for the gyros. I'll throw it up on the screen kind of so y'all can see the difference. The game's made by the same company, and without a doubt it was made by probably a close to the same team, so that's something to also keep in mind. The one thing that I love about this game is that compared to the prior, you know, if you got a gold in the prior game, you had to possibly sacrifice it for just to get a skill. In this game, once you get the gold, you're done. You know, you've got the gold permanently, and you don't have to worry about ever having to try and get them again. Now you're going to need to worry about leveling them up, sure, but in terms of what all you have to look out for, once you get them, you're done, and you can kind of go from there. And I think they're going to be really strong if you're able to get them by, I would say, late season 2. I would expect on getting one. I don't really know how long the season will last. Probably close to 2 or 3 months. I would say is how long the season will probably last. Season by season, the game gets so much faster paced because people start getting a whole lot stronger people. You know, you'll be taking lands early, and they will be increasing the difficulty of the lands. A level 28 land is not going to be the same next season. You know, they will get stronger. You know, even though it's a level 28 land, you're going to have stronger people. So the game's going to adjust for that. So keep that in mind as well, that a level 28 land in this game is not going to be the same level 28. It's going to be harder. It's probably going to have, you know, possibly a purple on the land instead of just a blue soldier. You know, I kind of have to go into a little bit of the rarities, but, you know, that's a little bit of it so far. My opinion of the game, you know, I think it's got so much potential. I really do. I really want this game to succeed, mainly because I like it, but also because I think this game offers so much. You know, really, it's Lord of the Rings, folks. Come on, give this game a shot. I really think this will turn some heads here, and overall, I think you'll have a good time with the game. Even if you just play a season, I think it's worth playing. You know, the game's fresh to come out. There's so many different people playing it. There's so many different countries. If you want to meet people from Russia, meet people from Korea, meet people from all over the world, you can definitely do it in this game, and I think it's a really good game. So, that's kind of it. You know, I'll be making videos in the future on this. Let me know what y'all want to see. You know, how I'm doing about my commanders, how I'm managing resources, what troops to use, kind of how to counter units. I can go into, you know, each one of those. Just let me know what y'all want to see first, and kind of we'll go from there. And thank you for watching so much. This has been IPvPMyKidsIRL signing off. Stay frosty out there.